I'm Rachel, and I am here to tell you a little bit about starting a sustainability website business. Uh, so about 3 so about 3 years ago, I started traveling around the world nonstop, doing freelance web development. I was always working for somebody else, never working on anything for myself. I was constantly encountering travel blogs and, various Instagram accounts and so forth about how everyone else is traveling and what they thought the right way to do it, or the best way, or the most interesting, or the prettiest way to do it was. But in all of my research and in reading all of these different blogs, the one thing that I really saw that was missing was no one was focusing really on how to travel and have it be sustainable and have it be responsible, and really looking into the ethics of the volunteer work that they were doing, and how what they were doing was impacting the local economy, or how it would maybe influence other travelers. So I started doing a lot of research and found that there is a lot of information available to companies on how they can make their businesses more sustainable, but there wasn't much information for consumers on how they can make their travels more sustainable, without it necessarily taking away from their experience. In travel, travel is one of the worst things you can do. Sure, maybe you only do it for a week or two a year, but the environmental costs of, flying halfway around the world and flying back are, is the equivalent of driving your car across the country a few times. It's really detrimental, and I don't think people realize the impact that they're having. Um, so because this information is really missing, my friend and I were like, how can we help? What can we do? So we have decided to go the route of the LLC, which when I started, when I proposed that I do a business plan for this class, I had no idea the amount of work that I would need to do just to get to the point where I could begin writing a business plan. So hopefully some of this research that I've done, will help you if you too are interested in starting, a resource or a sustainability business or website, or even a blog. So the first thing that I need to do in my preparation after deciding to go with an LLC was to do my research on other sites. I can't even estimate how long I spent looking at other websites and researching what else was out there. Been trying to find a list of, the best travel blogs, the best travel magazines, the best sustainability websites, the best lifestyle websites, magazines, camps, everything that I could possibly find that pertained to travel, sustainability, volunteer tourism, and so forth. It just legitimized my idea more that this is something that's really missing. So the next thing that I did was I planned out my entire site structure, what I expected the site to become as I launched it, the minimum amount of content that I would need to be confident in approaching somebody and telling them, hey, I launched this website, as well as a strict schedule for my friend and I to follow. If you've never been in the habit of writing blogs or producing content, it's really hard, and it takes a lot of time and can be a full-time job, just, writing to, not even two, but like one well-researched article a week. The next thing that I did was research how other blogs are actually sustainable, and make money, and how much money they make, and how many viewers, and how many sponsorships, and how many sponsored posts and advertising and stuff that everybody needs. And it ended up coming, like, it's a lot of traffic. It's a little bit intimidating, really, how much you need to really start making money. The best ways that we found have nothing to do with paid per click advertising. That's actually probably the least efficient way that you can do anything. And also with paid per click advertising, you have no control over what's being on your site. So if you're trying to be a thought leader, if you're trying to promote sustainability and, a company that you would never ever promote has an ad pop up because they were searching something else, like that kind of takes away from your site. So the pay per click advertising really isn't the way to go. So the next thing that we had to do was figure out our brand. And in this case, we went through kind of an interesting process where we started out with, just searching domain names, trying to find something that would be available. And everything seems like it's taken these days. We were looking at like the sustainabletourist.com and responsibletravel.com and so forth. And these were all such long domain names, they didn't really make sense. So then we kind of settled on the roamery.com, which sounded cute, but after thinking about it for a while, we realized that telling anyone that they would not remember. So then, after some more research, I discovered that coming in February and March, the domain extension .eco is going to become available. So right now they're actually accepting applications to apply for having a .eco domain name. And as long as you can send them the information that legitimizes your business as being an eco-friendly business, you can be granted one of these .eco domain names. So with that, I did a lot of research and settled on the fact that I kind of fell for the word roam, like a buffalo roams, and what it means, traveling and wandering, but doing so without really impacting or having any effect, just enjoying nature. And so found that roam-eco.com was available, as well as around 15 different variations of that, and ended up purchasing all of those domain names and applied for roam.eco. So hopefully we get that approval down the road here in a few months right after we launch. So the other thing that we had to do in regards to being a sustainable business is making sure that everything that we're doing from the ground up is sustainable. So that also meant looking at web hosting companies that do more environmentally friendly practices, sustainable user experience, and so forth. And that led me to work with InMotion Hosting, who actually uses a lot of renewable energy sources and alternative methods and cooling and so forth for their data centers, as well as they do community service and outreach programs and tree plantings and so forth. So it kind of it made sense to go with a company that's using green energy to do our hosting. So we ended up with InMotion Hosting. Then the next step was to begin the paperwork process and making sure that all of the paperwork, all of the forms were taken care of, and everything was handled so that, when they get our .eco application and when we send out our business plan and so forth, we have our proper name taken care of. We have a bank account with our tax EIN number and everything else. And this was probably the part that was the most intimidating, because I tried to go online and tried to set it up myself, and then was quickly realizing how expensive it was going to be using an online service. So I ended up doing everything on my own, and doing everything on my own, including the hosting and domain names and all of the tax fees and so forth. It turns out that in the state of California, to have an LLC, you also have to pay $800 within your first 4 months and so forth. So this process is costing around $1,200. It's a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. But at the same time, completely worth it, because, if I just started this little website and was waiting for months and months and months for it to start taking off, nothing might happen. I might get sick of it. I might not think it's worthwhile and get discouraged and stop doing it. But having this initial investment and starting it off as a completely legitimate company straight away allows it to be legitimized that much more quickly by advertisers, sponsors, and so forth. So I actually found that doing this paperwork really helped in making me feel like this was a real thing. So the strategy for marketing was a bit complicated. I've done marketing for ski resorts and some like action sports companies, but never for an actual website. My friend and I, we've both been joining every travel Facebook group we can possibly find, and travel bloggers and Instagram accounts and so forth, and trying to establish ourselves within these little communities so that when we launch, we're launching to a group, that has 100,000 members. We can be like, hey, we built this. Like, this is relevant to all of you. Have a look. See what it is. And so we're really, really hoping that we can utilize these Facebook groups, Instagram accounts, and these people that we've been connecting with for the last few months to help us really launch this product. And that ties in with our strategy for social media, which we have decided to create an Instagram account and to create a Facebook group. Not a Facebook page, but a Facebook group, because we figure this is not a nonprofit. It is a business, but it's a business that we would like to have a conversation about. And a page allows people to post to it, but you don't get the conversations that you get in Facebook groups. So we decided that we're going with a Facebook group. And all of these items together is what finally allowed me to begin the business plan for this website. I initially thought that I would be able to start just writing the business plan, and that wasn't the case. It's been daunting and frustrating, and I've felt like I've had no idea what I've been doing. But I've just been researching, trying to find other business plans on the web for websites, and modeling mine after theirs. But even that's been hard, because a lot of websites start as somebody just blogging, and then eventually it turns into something. But again, that's not the method we wanted to take. We wanted to launch something and have it be a product right away, have a viewership right away, and establish ourselves right away. So the business plan is actually one of the biggest, serves one of the biggest roles in this, as legitimizing us as a company and being something that we can submit to people that we would like to partnership, to submitting it to people we'd like to partner with, or people that we'd like to do advertising and so forth. So the business plan is still being wrapped up at this point. And with that, the next step was to, make an actual landing page, make all of these social media accounts, make the business plan that we have accessible, set up a contact form, set up a newsletter, take care of, terms of service and privacy policies and all of this other extraneous stuff, even setting up all of our email accounts, so that once we start sending out this information, there's a way to contact us that's also legitimized. Yay! So that's been a lot of work as well. The next step that we will be taking is to create a marketing and media kit, and actually launching our site, which we're hoping for towards the end of January at this point. It's a lot of content writing, so much content writing. But now, yeah, there's still so much work to do, and I thought that it wasn't going to be that much, and it's it's turning into an unbelievable amount of work. It really is. It's a full-time job on top of my job that I already have and my class and so forth. So if you're planning on doing something similar or you have interest in doing something similar, I'm completely open to guiding further and sharing more of the resources that I found. And if you'd like to check it out, you can go to www.roam-eco.com. That's ROAM-eco.com. Thank you.